ready? I'd like to welcome everyone to the Madison City Plan Commission regular meeting for Monday, July the 11th. Could we have a roll call, please?
Mike Armstrong.
Here.
Van Crafton.
Here.
Carl Eaglin.
Here.
Jeff Kernan.
Here.
Jerry Ralston.
Here.
Patrick Dednall.
Here.
Josh Wilbur.
Here.
Daryl Henderson.
Here. We didn't get any minutes for the June meeting, so we'll do that next month. New applications, Carter Engineering Consultants Incorporated, Scooters Coffee, an application for general business setbacks. Applicant is proposing a drive-through coffee shop on the property. Applicant requests setbacks of 75 feet on the north side, 30 feet on the east side, 186 feet on the south side, and 51 feet on the west side. Zone General Business, 335 Clifty Drive. We could get your name and address and kind of tell us about the project.
My name is Jack Howout, and do you want my Georgia address or?
Yeah, that's fine.
The business address is don't remember off the top of my head, but I can give you my house address if
That's
you,
fine.
if you need it. It's 134 Fairfield Drive, Jefferson, Georgia. And I'm sorry, but the second question was you were wondering about the
Just
project.
basically what you're doing.
So essentially, it's a Scooters Coffee. It's a drive-through only concept. I'm the engineer who worked on the plans, and I'm here representing Scooters, but it's a 664 square foot building, which is a very small footprint overall. So most of the site is just dedicated to make sure that there's plenty of stacking space and plenty of additional, space for movement to flow throughout the cars. Sometimes, things can get backed up, but this specific site has tons of stacking spaces. No, there should never be an issue where anyone's coming out into the street and blocking traffic. Just with the way that this one has been set up, it's a very long site, so that plays to the advantage of this because it's so thin and because it's such a small building footprint. We were able to utilize it well. There's not a lot of parking required. So
Are
we
they
just
tearing,
kind of
I
added
know
it.
they're tearing the front building down. They tearing the back building down too? Will it be gone?
Yes, they're tearing the back
The
one
whole thing?
down as well, just the whole thing, just to kind of start clean. And towards the back is just going to be like a grassed area, just to kind of let everything flow. Kind of act as a vegetated strip for it. Flows off the back into there's like an existing concrete drainage way back there. So that'll provide a little bit of water quality before it hits that.
Okay. In your, I think I read something in there about your ingress, egress, something you have to do that maybe the state has to approve.
Yeah, this Indiana DOT still has to approve the driveway entrance. They may have us change that up some, but as far as the building placement, building layout, and
Won't change.
parking, and none of that should change as a
Right.
result of that. It will just be the entrance.
So you're hoping to use existing drives as far as you know, as long as that's okay with NDOT, right?
I'm hoping so. We're actually, because as it exists right now, it's almost like one giant driveway
Right.
that goes across the entire front. We would be essentially getting rid of some of it to just make it a single ingress and egress.
Right.
Just because that we feel that's a good way to kind of direct people in the right way of where they need to go in order to either pick up their coffee or drive around back to park or whatever
Right.
they need to do. But because it is a drive-through only, there's not going to be a lot of people parking back there except the employees. So most of the traffic is just going to be into the drive-through
out.
and then out with their coffee.
Is that gonna utilize that whole lot then, or is part of the lot to the east? Or, no, yet?
It mostly just, it utilizes the whole lot. The only section that it doesn't is the very back, which will just be like a grass strip
Okay.
area. But just because we just used a lot of the additional length that the site has for extra stacking and storage space for cars, so that, it doesn't.
Curiosity, if there's any shooters or, close to here, scooters rather?
Not
Don't
yet.
know. Not yet.
I'm working on 5 or 6 of them in Indiana all over. I recently had to go to a meeting for Wabash, Indiana, so
Right.
they're being put all over the place in all the eastern states.
Do
Those
they
are the
sell,
ones I've been working
do they
on.
sell just black coffee by chance?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they can make it
Come
any
up
way
with
you
it.
like it.
So you guys are home-based in Georgia?
Yes, sir. We're the Carter Engineering is based in Georgia. Scooters, I believe, is based out of Nebraska.
Okay.
Any more questions from the board?
Is the concept a circled concept where there's drive-through on both sides, or is it drive-through one, order it, and then come around, kinda like your traditional restaurants?
It's traditional to where they have the menu board 6 cars out, and kind of their model is they do it to where they basically time it to where from the time you finish your order, you're leaving with your coffee in under 3 minutes, and
Okay.
that's a way to kind of, because it is drive-through only, they try to cycle everyone out quickly, but it is, because it's such a small building, like they just come by and they pick up the coffee, and there's usually 2 to 3 people working in there, one person manning the coffee and one person working the window.
Okay. No, and the reason why I ask is I've seen where, Starbucks, your craft coffees, they become very popular. You can see a pretty good line, and although you've got, good entry and exit, it kind of depends on that, because you can have some traffic still backed up on the road trying to get in.
Oh, yeah.
Which
And,
I'm sure scooters would love that dilemma. But, I'm just looking at what if that dilemma does happen, is that being accounted for? possibly?
Yes, absolutely. So for the latest ADT traffic data that we have for drive-by vehicles for daily trips and peak hour trips, the current calculation for peak hour trips that they have is when you account for drive-by, which is essentially people who, they see a coffee shop and then they drive by, as opposed to someone who drives by on the other side of the road. They see it, they're like, I'm not crossing over the road. So when you take that into account, you get peak hours, 28 cars in an hour.
Okay.
They cycle in about 3 per minute, and the site, I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but it can store more than 28 before it backs up into Indiana DOT right away. So you should be free and clear from any type of issues like that, where it should become a traffic issue.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Anyone in the audience want to speak for or against? I would accept a motion. Please?
I make a motion that we accept the ordinance as passed.
I have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Mike Armstrong,
Yes.
Van Crafton,
Yes.
Carl Eaglin,
Yes.
Jeff Kernan,
Yes.
Jerry Ralston,
Yes.
Patrick Tednall,
Yes.
Josh Wilbur,
Yes.
Daryl Henderson.
Yes. Okay, the next application is also Carter Engineering, an application for an accessible parking plan for a proposed drive-through coffee shop. The restaurant is drive-through only. There are no public parking spaces proposed. Applicant plans to indicate approximately 7 total parking spaces for employees, including 1 ADA. 335 Clifty Drive, Zone General Business. And Joe's, I'm correct, we don't have to approve that way, or we do have to approve that way? The way I read your suggestions, I wasn't sure that it's even required. It is required, a parking plan? Still required, okay. Basically, we've been through the questions, I think. Unless there's any other questions from the board?
I'll make the motion to approve the parking plans for Scooter's Coffee.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Could we have a roll call vote?
Mike Armstrong,
Yes.
Van Crafton,
Yes.
Carl Eaglin,
Yes.
Jeff Kernan,
Yes.
Jerry Ralston,
Yes.
Patrick Tednall,
Yes.
Josh Wilbur,
Yes.
Daryl Henderson.
Yes. Thank you, sir. I don't know if you need this, probably.
Y'all can have it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Okay, tabled applications is Rick Morgan, Baird Mobile Homes, an application for a general business setback. Applicant desires to add a storage building to the property requiring setback adjustment. Applicant requests setbacks of 318 feet on the north, 287 feet on the east, 175 on the south, and 212 on the west. 3041 Clifty Drive, Zone General Business. I don't think there's anyone here to address this application. So I guess we would take a motion to table.
I'll make that motion to table it one more month.
I'll second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
And that was just for one more month.
Correct.
That's what my motion.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they have to reapply if we do it one more time. It's been too
Any
long.
new or old business? I would take a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
We are adjourned.